Welcome to Mega Gaming, and today's review is going to be on a game that I've been holding off on doing a review for. It came up in the random number generator quite a while ago, and it's one of those games where it's of such complexity where I don't know how to approach the review. It's another Sid Meier's game, which we've already done, Pirates. This one is Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. If you want to pick up a copy of this game, you can get the Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri Planetary Pack on GOG for the price of $5.99. That includes Alpha Centauri and the expansion Alien Crossfire. This game was developed by Firaxis Games and published by Electronic Arts. It is directed by Sid Meier and has a lot of other well-known designers, composers, and other people involved in the project. It's released February 12th of 1999, and it's a 4X turn-based strategy game. This game starts in the 22nd century after the United Nations sends Unity, a colonization mission to Alpha Centauri's planet, Chiron. Unbeknownst to humans, advanced extraterrestrials known as progenitors have been conducting experiments in vast distributed nervous system, culminating in planetary biosphere-sized pre-sentient nervous system on Chiron, leaving behind monoliths and artifacts on the planet to guide and examine the system's growth. Immediately prior to the start of the game, a reactor malfunction on the Unity spacecraft wakes the crew and colonists early and irreparably severs communications with Earth. I can't speak. You know what I mean. After the captain is assassinated, the most powerful leaders on board build ideological factions with dedicated followers, conflicting agendas for the future of mankind, and desperately serious commitments. After the ship breaks up, 7 escape pods, each containing a faction, are scattered across the planet. Now you have 7 different factions to choose from, all which are focused on different things. You have Gaia's stepdaughters. You have the Human Hive, University of Planet, Morgan Industries, Spartan Federation, Lords Believers, Peacekeeping Forces, and there's 7 additional factions in Alien Crossfire. Some are focused on the economy above all else, others are focused on environmentalism, others are focused on academia and education, etc. For 1999, this was quite the complex game, and it's one of those games that, despite being a bit graphically limited, still holds up today. It's one of those games that requires quite a bit of time and commitment to really master. It has multiplayer, which is quite a lot of fun. It has a variety of scenarios, or you can do more of a sandbox style. In a lot of ways it's like Civilization in space, except in my opinion, a better overall game. So as you move along, you can decide whether or not to help certain factions, trade knowledge, which can help you gain knowledge more quickly, but that also may help a faction that ends up being your enemy advance more quickly as well. So you really have to be strategic about what you share with other nations on the planet, what you decide to focus on, and how you decide to advance. It allows you to automate a lot of the processes for people who don't want to be involved in micromanagement. I mean, you can put governors in charge of cities, and the government will then choose the units and improvements to produce what you need for those. Units can be on autopilots, where they can automatically terraform, scouts explore on their own, etc. However, if you enjoy micromanagement, you can do everything manually and manage every single detail of the society. There's a huge technology tree. Let's get this game up and running on the window. Oh, this kind of shows some of the basics of it. As you see from the game, you can switch to simple menus, really simplify the game. It is turn-based, so you decide what to do. You decide what to focus on. There's a ton of different skill trees, though. There's terraforming. You basically get to manage about any aspect you could think of starting a space colony, all the way down to managing how you decide to govern the people there. You can force the people to an extent to do certain things and be a totalitarian, but you may have revolts. So one of the first things I always like to do is kind of explore, see what's around. And if you're on the tutorial mode, it'll actually give you quite a bit of useful information. As it says down here, in side combat, weapon and armor strengths are ignored. Attacker is given a 3-2 advantage on land, 1-1 for sea combat. Morale level becomes quite important in side combat. So perhaps you got a bunch of stuff built previously by being a dictator, but if that lowers morale, and you keep sending people into battles to die, and where your morale is low, it will impact the outcome of battles. This is one of those games where you could choose to do this completely peacefully. You could choose to be a pacifist, trade knowledge in advance that way. You could do this in like a command and conquer style, try to take over everything by force, or some type of mix in between. The flexibility of this game and what you take control of and what's automated and all the very specific details you can manage it down to. And the fact you're basically starting off with very limited, and you have to advance your technology trees to get better military equipment, advance your society, etc. It is one of the game is a lot of fun. The graphics are just good enough where they hold up. You can tell exactly what's going on in the game. It's really not, the graphics aren't an issue whatsoever. The sound is the same. It's very simplistic, but it's enough to be engaging in the game. It's really one of those games, much like Combat Mission Beyond Overlord, which I also reviewed, where it requires a huge time commitment, but once you get over the semi-steep learning curve, the payoff is immense in the end, given the amount of details and you can manage in the game and different play styles you can engage in. It's a very flexible game. It's a very feature-complete game, and in the end, it's a very fun game with lots of replayability in either single or multiplayer mode. It's one of those games that I can't recommend to everybody, but if somebody enjoys strategy games, space games, simulation games, games of that style, this is a must-have in your collection. On our list, I'm going to put it quite a ways up the list. I am going to put it at number I'm going to put it number 12. Actually, no, that's a bit high. I'm going to put it in the A range. A solid A. Now I'm going to put it put it at number 14. It is one of my... I'm really not into strategy games that much, but it's one of those games that's... It allows enough flexibility in play styles. The AI is quite well developed, and the multiplayer modes. There's enough variety, where it's a game that has lots of replayability. It's a game that I enjoy to this day. It's highly recommended. Definitely get it. It's only $6. It's a game that everybody should have in their collection. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.